Mayor Paes, all eyes are on Rio de Janeiro today. What would you like the international visitors gathered here to take home?
I mean, first there's something that you always get when you come to Rio, which is this amazing view. It's the most beautiful place in the world. But besides that, I think it's important to understand how much Brazil is growing now, how things are getting better. I mean, what are the opportunities in a country like Brazil? And Rio is the face of Brazil to foreigners. This is a city with amazing opportunities for investment. I mean, when you talk about energy transition, when you talk about clean energy, I mean, you got to talk about Brazil. So we see this as a great place for opportunities. And obviously, the Carioca, how do we call those who are from Rio? You don't need to be born in Rio to be a Carioca. So if you fall in love with Rio, you can be a Carioca. I mean,
so I'm a bit of a Carioca today.
Yes. When you leave, you're going to be a completely Carioca.
I agree. You started your first mandate some 15 years ago?
Yes, it was 2009.
How has your understanding of Rio changed from back then to today?
I think the role of cities, they have increased a lot in the past few years. I mean, it has become something, I mean, the world has become much more urbanized. And the role of cities, especially when you talk about energy transition, when you talk about all the issues of sustainability, environment, most of the answers are going to be in cities. And there is other thing, which is the trades, the changes between the world today. It's not, the cities play a major role today, a much bigger role than they used to play in the past. So I think when you talk about trade, when you talk about relations between Saudi Arabia and Brazil, for example, there will be more between like Riyadh or other Arab cities and the city of Rio and São Paulo and other Brazilian cities.
So there will be a need for more global dialogue?
Yes, I mean, obviously this opportunity of hosting FII here, it already means that we are this dialogue between Brazil and Saudi Arabia, Brazil, South America, Middle East, let's say the global South, as people like to say. It's going to increase more and more in the next years.
When you mention cities, especially mega cities such as Rio de Janeiro and others, what do you predict will be the biggest challenges in the next 10 years?
I mean, climate change is a big issue. It doesn't matter. I mean, when you are in Rio, there's going to be the big storms, big rainstorms, which has always been a problem in Rio, but it has increased the quantity of rainstorms in the past few years. There's the issue about the sea level in a city like Rio. So from different perspectives, that's what we're seeing all over the place. Climate change will be one of the main challenges that city will have to face.
You must meet people from all social structures in your city. What are the pillars that make a life good for its citizens?
Let me say something about Brazil. I mean, I think the biggest challenge of our country is how can we get this gap between the rich and poor, the social inequality, smaller than what it is today. This is a big challenge of President Lula. When he was here, he was talking about it. I mean, it's not acceptable that a country as rich as Brazil still have so many people living in terrible conditions. So I think that's a big challenge for a city like Rio. How can we decrease this gap? How can we give more quality of life? And what I mean by quality of life, obviously you have to have green spaces, parks, stuff like that, but people need jobs. People need good health, good education, and by the end of the day, that means good opportunities for everyone.
At the FII Institute, the big topic is impact on humanity. What do you feel is the biggest impact you have achieved with your citizens so far?
Again, we need to consider what Rio means. What is the reality here? So, transportation is something that we have been working a lot. So we just finished building 150 kilometers of what we call bus rapid transit, which is a cheaper way than subway to get people moving around the city. Our health system, primary systems, has increased a lot in the past few years, and we've been dealing a lot with education. So this is what, in my opinion, is going to be the opportunity for these poorest people to move around, to get in a better condition.
And how do you feel the private and the public sector can cooperate in order to make life better for citizens from the deprived areas?
I mean, that comes from the obvious issues like we need to build infrastructure using private money, PPPs, concessions, and this is something that I think this connection between FII and Brazil investments in this trade of investment can help a lot. But obviously, I mean, when you look, I mean, governments, they push the development, but we need the private sector to get things done. They are the one that creates jobs. So if government gives people opportunity, give them opportunity of having skills to get the jobs delivered by the private sector, that's how things are going to move. And I mean, and again, there's always have to be the social responsibility of the private sector, which I think it's something that is getting better, and FII has a lot to do with that. When the message is about dignity, when the message is about human development, that makes clear to all businessmen that want to invest here, they can make the money, make the profit, this is good, there's no problem about it. But what are the social goods that we're leaving to the people?
You mentioned dignity. It's a very strong word that we keep hearing here in Rio de Janeiro at the summit. What have your citizens taught you about dignity?
I mean, it's not easy, again, being in a city, in a country with so much inequality. And you see all these hardworking people, you know, trying to live their lives and improving themselves and working hard to get their kids to a good school, to get their kids into a better place. So I think that's a lot. That means a lot about, you know, what dignity means. You know, it's how can we keep up in spite of all the problems we face, in spite of all the inequalities, and keep working hard to get things better.
Thank you very much, Mayor Paes.
Great pleasure.